Alright, so there's a lot of buzz going around on YouTube, or this has went around for the past like 2 to 3 days or so, saying that the Order 1886 is not long enough, too short, not worth the $60, pass on it, whatever. Now, I know people already talked about this, and the game is actually coming out tonight, because today is, as of right now, it's 12:08 p.m. where I live at, and it's the 19th, and it actually comes out tonight. So by the time people see this, they may already have it, playing it, whatever. But if you're looking at this and the game's already out, or you're about to get it, or even you're at midnight launch right now, you're just looking at this or whatever. Let me just say this. I don't care how long a game is. If it's 5 hours, if it's 6 hours, 3, whatever. I know one thing. Those fucking 4 to 5 hours better be the most entertaining 4 to 5 hours of my life, or of my freaking gaming hours I normally do. Like, I don't... Here's what I don't get. First, people complain about how long a game is. Oh, the game is too... People complain about how long a game is, where, oh, the game is too long. But then now we're complaining about a game not being too long. I mean, that is what makes this whole game career, not game career, but the gaming industry alone is just bad. The community of gaming is just bad. I mean, like, there are so many naysayers and yes and no people. Like, oh, you got the people who defended it, then you got the people not defending it, which I don't understand, because people believe it or not, some people buy Call of Duty just for the story. Some people say, oh, the multiplayer sucks, and they don't care about the multiplayer. People just buy it for the story. So people are spending $60, $64 on just the story. And we all know Call of Duty story are typically very short, anywhere from 5 or less hours. But when it comes to a game that's completely brand new, oh, it better be long. And supposedly this whole shortness came from some guy on YouTube uploaded leaked gameplay footage of the entire game, whatever, being like in a speed run through or something, and he did 5 hours, and people, oh, that's not long enough. First of all, there are so many people who have different play styles of games. So many. I mean, some people like to take their time, some people like to explore a little bit and then do the mission, or some people just like to run off. It all depends on playstyle. You don't know that you could spend 12 hours playing this game. Like, I know people who takes so many hours to do a mission that I did within, minutes on video games. Like, when did this whole thing become about length? I mean, now here's the thing. If a game is 5 hours long and it's boring and the gameplay sucks and it's just boring and it's not fun, then you have a problem. If it's boring and it has uninteresting characters, boring story, boring gameplay, and it's short, then yes, you have a problem. But if the story does, if it does have a good story, decent characters, and it's short, then I'd be like, okay, and the gameplay is fun, I'd be like, okay, this game is pretty cool, it's pretty fun, and it was worth my money. Because at the end of the day, I don't care how much money you're paying. I don't care if you're paying $60, fucking $5, $10, whatever. At the end of the day, you're still paying money. But some people out there say, but you're paying more money. Like, for example, The Last of Us Left Behind. I looked that shit up, and people are I think I looked it up on some website how long it is, and people are saying the Left Behind from The Last of Us is fucking 2 hours, no more than 3 hours. A lot of people was hyping that up. A lot of people saying, oh my god, The Last of Us Left Behind, you can play as Ellie and her friend, yeah. And then when it came out, people were saying oh, it's short, but it still was a good game. Like, I don't get it. I mean, if a game is fun and you're enjoying it, and it's a short game and has interesting characters, it's worth the money. I don't care how much money you pay for You know, I mean, for me, I paid about what $20 for Watch Dogs when it came out. No, not when it came out. I paid that much on Amazon after a few months the game has released, and I can say it's worth the money, even though the game has a boring character or whatnot. But the gameplay is still somewhat fun. It still has some stuff that you can do in the game, like you know, you can go and play chess, or you can go and do drinking games, stuff like that. Little things like that counts in the game. And I don't just get why, you know, the gaming industry today is just so bad. You can't sit here and say, oh, the industry is really good. It has lots of good people. No, it doesn't. It's so many assholes and people, like, it's just boring. Like, let me tell you something. I paid $74 for Grand Theft Auto 5 just to get it the day after it came out. I ordered it from Amazon to save up my Amazon money. I paid $74 fucking dollars for that game just the next day to come out. Do I regret it? Yes and no, but I won't really get into that right now because we're not talking about that. But I tell you one thing, the game was worth somewhat of its money. But I'll get into that another time. But it's the same, like for another example I'm going to use, Paranormal Activity. And I know this is a movie, I'm going off topic a little bit, but here's an example. How much does it cost to get into like drive-ins and movie theaters these days? I mean, I haven't really gone that much anymore. Paranormal Activity, the movie, is only about a good hour and 30 minutes. It's a pretty short movie, because I have it on DVD and I watch Paranormal Activity 2 and 3. They're relatively very short movies. They're only about an hour and 20 minutes max. And if you pay 30 some bucks to get in, or 20 some bucks to get in, and if you enjoy that movie, your money is worth that money, how much you pay to get in, because you enjoyed it, you liked it, even though you may pay a bit more than what the story or what the length of the movie is, but you paid it, you enjoyed it. Like me, I watched, for example, Paranormal Activity 4, the Mark ones, that movie was ass, and I'm glad I never went in to go see that movie. I watched it on Netflix, that movie sucked. Now, that's an example of a bad movie just wasting money. I don't care how much money you pay for that. That's an example of that. But if you're paying this much, because with DLC in games, you're paying what, $15 for The Last of Us, and people saying that game is under 3 hours. Oh, it's not worth it. But people didn't have a problem with paying for other DLCs. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand today. I mean, that's all I really have to really say about this, you guys. If the game is fun and you're having really fun with it, has interesting characters and stories, you pay $60, it's worth it. If you enjoyed it, it's worth it. It's worth it, because for me, I think the game looks worth it. I mean, some people are saying, oh, it better be 14 hours or 12 hours. If this game has interesting characters, because there's already reviews out for it, I believe. Some people saying it's the most depressing game they ever played. Now that adds into the story, and it looks like it's going to be a very dramatic game. I'll probably be picking it up. I don't know, I have to actually see about it. But don't really listen to what people say, because that guy who uploaded that gameplay of it probably, most likely, speed running through it or whatever. Like I said, it all depends on how you play the game. You're really gonna listen to a total stranger gameplay that he played only he beat the game in 5 hours. That's his fucking gameplay style. Maybe you like rushing through the game. Maybe you like rushing through games. Some people actually buy games to rush through them and dump with them, don't play them ever. And, if it has replay value, then it's worth it. And some people say, oh, the cutscenes and the cinematic gameplay doesn't count. It's part of the game. It's there. And what if it didn't have that? At least the game has something totally worth talking about. Oh, it just has this and that. But when a game doesn't offer something, oh, it sucks. So I don't understand. I mean, like, there are so many people that are just so wrong. A lot of people today don't know games in general. If it's worth the money, if it's worth the replay value, then get it. So that's all I have to say. I'm out. I see y'all on the next one. Have fun with your game. Don't listen to other people say. Peace.